Welcome back to my English podcast. I'm really glad you're here today. This podcast is a relaxed space. You don't need to focus too much. You don't need to understand every word. Just listen and enjoy. Today, I want to talk about my workday routine. But my life is not very simple. I don't do only one thing. I'm an English teacher, but I also own a small cafe. So my days are usually busy, but in a calm way. Let's start with my mornings. Most days I wake up around 7 o'clock. I'm not a morning person, to be honest, but I've learned how to take mornings slowly. I don't jump out of bed. I stay there for a minute. I stretch a little and take a deep breath. The first thing I think about is coffee, not just drinking coffee, but having coffee in my own cafe. That thought already makes me feel better. I get dressed and leave the house. My cafe is not far away. It's small, cozy, and very quiet in the morning. When I open the door, there are no customers yet, and I really love that moment. I turn on the lights, open the windows, and let some fresh air in. Then I make myself a coffee. Just 1 cup, strong but not too strong. I sit down at my favorite table. Most of the time, I sit there alone. And honestly, I enjoy that silence. Some mornings, I bring a book with me. I read a few pages. Nothing difficult, just something light. Other mornings, I take my notebook and draw a little. I'm not an artist or anything. I just like putting simple ideas on paper. And sometimes, I don't read or draw at all. I just sit there, drink my coffee, and think about the day. 3 days a week, I also work at a school as an English teacher. On those days, my morning is a bit faster. I still drink my coffee at the cafe, but I don't stay too long. I check my lessons, close the cafe for a while, and then go to school. Teaching is a big part of my life. I like talking to students, answering questions, and seeing them improve. It can be tiring, but it's also very rewarding. And this is how my workday usually begins. After I leave the cafe, I usually go to school. I work there 3 days a week. School days feel a little different. They are more active, more voices, more movement. When I arrive at school, I say hello to other teachers. Sometimes we talk for a few minutes. Sometimes we are all busy and tired. Then I go to my classroom. I prepare my lesson. I check my notes. I don't like very complicated lessons. I try to keep things simple. Simple examples. Simple explanations. My students come in. Some of them look sleepy. Some of them look excited. That's normal. We start the lesson together. We talk. We practice. We make mistakes. And that's okay. I always tell my students that mistakes are part of learning. You don't need to be perfect. Teaching takes a lot of energy. I speak a lot during the day. By the end of my classes, my voice feels tired. When school finishes, I usually feel 2 things at the same time. Tired, but also satisfied. After school, I go back to my cafe. The cafe feels very different now. It is no longer quiet. People come in to relax. Some people work on their laptops. Some people meet friends. I really like this atmosphere. It feels warm and alive. On some days, I invite my private students to the cafe. We sit at a small table, usually near the window. We order coffee or tea and study English together. Studying in the cafe feels easier. There is less pressure, more comfort. We talk about daily life, work, plans, simple topics. I think learning should feel natural. After my private lessons, I take a short break. I drink some water. I sit quietly for a few minutes. Sometimes I read a little more. Sometimes I draw again in my notebook. These small breaks help me continue my day. In the afternoon, the cafe becomes calmer again. This is usually my favorite time. I feel tired, but in a good way, and my day is not over yet. In the late afternoon, things slow down a little. The cafe is still open, but it's quieter than before. This is usually the time when I can breathe again. On some days, after work, I go to a music class. Music is one of my hobbies. I play an instrument that not many people know. I'm not a professional musician. I don't practice every day, but I enjoy it. Playing music helps me relax. It helps me forget about work and think about something else. When I play, I don't think about grammar or lessons. I just listen to the sound. After music class, I often go back to my cafe. In the evening, my friends usually come. They like my cafe. because it feels comfortable. We sit together, drink coffee or tea, and talk about our day. Sometimes we talk about work. Sometimes we talk about plans. Sometimes we talk about nothing important. And that's actually my favorite part. I don't need every conversation to be deep or serious. Just being together is enough. As the evening goes on, the cafe slowly becomes quieter. People leave one by one. I start cleaning the tables. I wipe things down. This part of the day is a little tiring, but also peaceful. When everything is clean, I turn off the lights and lock the door. The cafe is quiet again. After a long day, that silence feels nice. I take a deep breath and get ready to go home. But my day is still not finished. When I leave the cafe in the evening, I finally go home. By that time, I usually feel tired, but it's a calm kind of tired. At home, I don't do anything complicated. I change my clothes and make myself comfortable. Most evenings, I don't check emails or messages for work. I really need this time for myself. Sometimes I make a simple dinner, nothing special, just something easy. While I eat, I like to think about my day. What went well? What felt difficult? Not in a negative way, just quietly. Some evenings, I read a book, not for learning, just for pleasure. Other evenings, I listen to music, soft music, nothing too loud. And sometimes, I play my instrument again, not to practice, just to enjoy the sound. Music helps me slow down. It helps my mind relax. Before I go to bed, I prepare a little for the next day. I check my schedule. I think about my lessons. I don't plan everything, just the important parts. Then I go to bed. I don't stay up too late. As I lie down, I feel grateful, not because my life is perfect, but because it feels balanced. I work, I teach, I meet people, and I also rest. This routine helps me feel grounded. And tomorrow, a new day will start again. When I think about my life, I don't think it is very special, but I think it is very real. I don't have one simple routine. My days change. Some days are busier, some days are slower, and honestly, I like that. Some mornings, I wake up feeling tired. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel excited, and that's okay. On those days, I remind myself that I don't need to feel amazing every day. I just need to start. I make my coffee. I open my cafe. And slowly my mood changes. Being in my cafe helps me feel grounded. It feels like my own little world. People come and go. Some stay for 5 minutes. Some stay for hours. I see many different lives every day. And that reminds me that everyone is dealing with something. Teaching English is the same. Every student is different. Some learn fast. Some need more time. And I've learned to be patient with them and with myself. There are days when I feel very tired, especially after teaching at school, and then working at the cafe. On those days, I think about quitting everything and just sleeping for a week. But then, there are small moments that change my mind. A student understands something new. A customer says thank you. A friend laughs at something silly. These moments are small, but they matter. In the evenings, when my cafe is quiet again, I sometimes sit alone for a few minutes. I don't do anything. I don't think about work. I just sit there. Those quiet moments are important to me. They help me slow down. When I go home at night, I feel tired, but also peaceful. I know I did my best that day. I didn't do everything perfectly, but I did enough. And that's something I've learned over time. Life doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs balance, work and rest, people and quiet, teaching, creating, and taking time for myself. This routine works for me. Maybe it will change in the future, and that's okay too. For now, this is my workday routine. Thank you for listening. If you stayed until the end, I really appreciate it. And now I want to ask you something. What does your workday look like? Is it busy? Is it calm? You can share it in the comments. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself.